This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
And I want to tell you a story. So I saw this on TikTok yesterday, but then news.com have picked it up as a story as well. So it's about a girl who she'd been with her boyfriend for 4 years. They're American. They moved together to LA, she's a musician and wanted to do some improv kind of stuff. And so they moved to LA, which was to chase her dream. And she acknowledged that. And then after a while, he said, I'm not happy. I want to move back to Texas to be closer to his family. And she's like, okay, that's fair enough. And so she packed up everything they owned, and she said she drained her savings in order to book the movers, and she had a big farewell party and said goodbye to the new friends that she'd made in LA. Okay. And she moved back with him to Texas. That's and then nice. Waited for their stuff to arrive and then set up the new house, had to rent a new property, obviously, set it all up. And she said that took about another month or so. And so they're just settling into life in Texas. He goes away on a bit of a family trip.
Yep.
So with his family, they go. She couldn't go for whatever reason or wasn't invited. I'm not sure. When he gets home, after she has uprooted her new life in LA to follow him back to Texas, he hands her a note that says, I don't think we're compatible.
After all that, Nat.
And therefore, bye.
Therefore, you're dropped.
Yeah, that's right. Essentially. And also, a note? They've been together for 4 years. That's a face-to-face conversation, don't you reckon?
Well, it is, but also you don't want to get caught up in trying to say stuff and you forget the right words. So then you go with writing it down that we're not compatible, and that's straight to the point. Just in case
you forget the word incompatible when you really need it. I mean, that hurts. Like she said, why wouldn't he have just said it and gone back to Texas when they were living in LA? If he wasn't that happy, just break up with me then, move back, fine, I get it, that's no problem. But to make her move all the way back again and then go, nah, I don't, we're not compatible, bye.
That's one of the 3 strong pillars to a good relationship, compatibility.
Compatibility.
Yeah, it is.
And do you think after 4 years you would have figured out if you're compatible or not?
Well, you would have thought so too.
Does compatibility change over time?
Yeah, it does. It does. I can't remember the other pillars, but I'll get back to them
shortly. What are the other 2 pillars, Sean?
I've forgotten all of them, but I know compatibility is number 2.
It's definitely one of them. Oh, number 2.
Yeah.
Loving them, is that one of them?
That's probably up there. But that's amazing. You often hear that people uproot their lives for another partner, and then it all goes to shit. That's a bad way to break
up with somebody like that. If you're taking notes, if you're wondering how you should break up with somebody, don't do that. Don't make them move across the country and then give them a note.
It's not nice to split up from a relationship or get dumped on the back of you doing something, a good gesture.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you know what that reminds me of? I mean, we're just talking about moving state, but the Netflix show that you're watching at the moment.
Oh, what's it called again? Nobody Wants This.
Yeah, so I watched it. And so in it, what's her name?
The actress is Kristen Bell.
Yeah, so Kristen Bell is looking at possibly changing religions
yes, that's right,
because
she's in love with a rabbi who's
to do
hot.
that for the partner who's hot.
Yes.
So that would be another thing. What happens if they got together? I've just done a whole religious course.
Yes, I've converted to Judaism and now we're incompatible.
Yeah, exactly.
That would hurt. Cindy's in Camillo. Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Hey, Cindy.
Okay, Cindy, talk to us. When did you get dumped in an unbelievable time?
Okay, so I was in a relationship with he's FIFO, so he was in and out and whatever else. We were in a relationship. We got married in July of 2020, so during COVID and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were planning on a future and everything else. We were renting, so we thought, we'll buy a house. So we did all that. So in September of 2021, purchased the property. Now, that property was in his name, which that's all kosher, whenever we're married.
Yes.
Then December rolls around and no arguments, no nothing, whatever. He comes back from a swing and there's a note on the side table saying, I'm not really ready for a relationship.
You got married.
You bought a house together.
Yeah.
He's not ready for a relationship, but he was ready to have a wedding and get married and buy a house. What?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. It's done my head in things.
Cindy.
Okay, I tell you, roll with it, but I couldn't speak to him for probably 3 months. But yes, basically mine was the same thing. No argument, no nothing. His decision to move house, his decision to get married. And then, within 18 months, it's like, I'm not ready for a relationship.
I'm not ready for a relationship.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
in a relationship. Oh, Cindy.
But we are learning the best way to break up with somebody is write them a note.
Is a note, yeah.
So write that down, everyone.
Brooke's in Atwell. Morning, Brooke.
Good morning.
Okay, Brooke. I know these are sad stories, Brooke. What have you got for us?
Okay, so mine's not really as bad as moving across the country or anything, but I got broken up with on Christmas.
Oh. How long have you been
What
together?
did you do to the ham that caused that to happen?
Yeah, so we were together for 3 years, but he was of that certain religion that didn't celebrate Christmas.
Oh,
Yes.
okay,
So
yes.
we were actually going down to Esperance before Christmas just to go for a holiday there.
Yes.
And halfway down, he turned around and said, "Oh, I think we need a break." And I was like, "Are you kidding?"
We're in Lake Grace.
Halfway
What are we
down
going to do? What do I get out of the car here? It is a long drive, to be fair. It
gonna
would test the best
climb
of
Bluff Knoll?
relationships, but still.
Yeah. So we were living in a town 4 hours away at
Yeah.
the time. So
Yes.
turned
Okay.
around, took me back to that town.
Kalgoorlie,
All right,
obviously, yes.
Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah. And I just, I was like, I'll just go down to Perth then because my family are down here, my friends down here. Come down for a couple of days, and then I got a text, or I text him saying, okay, like I'm ready to come home. And then he texted me and said, oh, no, it's not going to work.
It's not going to... The old classics of we need a break.
I know, and it's not
not
going to
gonna
work.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brooke.
So,
You've
yeah.
moved on, though, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Good
She's
girl.
a good catch, Brooke.
Yeah, she is.
Don't let that go.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brooke. Brendan's in Applecross. Hello.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Brendan.
Okay, we're talking about being dumped hard at a really bad time. What happened?
I met a young lady when I was travelling in England, a South African girl,
Yeah.
and we got together, decided to move back to Australia, so she came back with me as my de facto.
Yep.
We set up house, I bought her a car, got her all set up. So in January, we bought an apartment together.
Nice.
Her permanent residency came through around Australia Day, 26th of January, something around that.
Yep.
And then on Valentine's Day, she decides to break up with me.
Oh, 2.5 weeks later.
2.5. And the part that really stung the most
Yes.
is the apartment that we bought together. When we had to separate, she didn't want the value of what we paid for it, even though we only owned it for 3 weeks. She wanted market value of $60,000 more than what we bought it for.
Oh, that is an absolute stitch up, Brendan.
So I had to pay that extra $30,000 just to break up with her.
Brendan.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
Okay.
Brendan.
Well, I would
Total
say,
stitch up.
I know that it cost you that $30,000, but I would say you...
Money well spent.
Yeah, that's right.
Brendan, have you moved on? You got any fresh gear these days?
Oh, yes. No, well, I met my wife pretty much straight away.
There you go.
Oh,
after
see, that
So-
was meant to be.
It's the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
It's the amount of young women right now that would actively shoot us in the head to take our seats.
Indeed.
Is unbelievable.
He's headed our way next week, next Wednesday, in fact, playing Perth RAC Arena. The Kid LAROI brings
Kid
in
LAROI.
his
The kid.
first-time Australian tour. Welcome.
What's up?
Hey, you're in action tonight, aren't you, in Queensland?
Yeah, I'm in Brisbane. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
How's that going to go for you? And give us your pre-game routine.
Drinking lots of tea for sure.
I'm a tea drinker.
Yeah, trying to save the voice. There's this tea called throat coat. That's really good.
Yep.
Throat coat.
Yeah.
Oh, I could use that on the weekend. You look right now so clean, so fresh. You look like you smell good. And your necklace, I don't know much about jewelry. I haven't been down to Zamel's lately, but that is a nice necklace.
Thanks, bro. I went to Ben Bola's store and they had this out and I just thought it was really nice.
No, it looks great.
Hey, kid, I wanted to ask you about one of the highlights for me, if I was in your position, is having my own Macca's meal named after me.
I ate your
I thought you were
burger.
going to say playing the NRL final. No.
Well, the NRL Grand Final, great. I know he's a South Sydney fan, but that there seems to me like the height of all
The
fame.
pinnacle.
Yeah, so talk to me. Were you in the McDonald's labs with the chicken, making sure it was super crispy, testing the viscosity of the viscosity of the sauce? Is that what was happening? Lab coats.
Not quite, but no, that was insane. I mean, obviously that's just what the moment for sure.
Oh, mate, I have to say, I do, and I loved your burger. I do think the sauce is a bit watery. I just think you could spend a little bit more time. I just think it needed to be a bit thicker. And I'm saying that to
That's
you
not
because I
me.
respect
That
you.
has nothing to
Well,
do
that's
with
what it
me.
is.
That's
It's your
all-
burger.
That's all McDonald's.
Don't blame the clown.
Out of all the things you've been asked to partner with, was that one that you, because it comes through managers
Yes.
and stuff like, is that one that you quickly said yes to, or?
Yeah, just because it's so
Iconic, yeah.
yeah, it's just crazy. It's like what a McDonald's meal is like the biggest restaurant ever.
So, big concerts here in Australia. Do you perform better for us because we're your peeps?
Yeah.
Good.
I did.
Everyone, so the world gets the
Are you
slots,
just
don't they?
saying that?
Nah, I'm serious.
So when you are playing home shows like this, how many friends and family hit you up for
Oh, yeah,
freebies?
you wouldn't be
'Cause,
able to
of
make any
course,
money.
You would be getting messages from every kid you ever went to school with, surely.
Well, yeah, it's funny. A lot of times I think like some of my like close friends get burdened with it even more than I do, I think. You know, like
Yes.
like one of my boys back home, he tells me like, yeah, it's like it's kind of annoying. Like whenever you come in town, like all of a sudden everyone wants to ask how I'm doing.
But what a responsibility for your
Like,
people.
like concert tickets.
Yeah.
But what
you
a
know?
responsibility for your mates, because really your mates are gatekeepers to
Yes,
you.
that's
And that's
right.
a responsibility they have to take on board because, the press and everything will be trying to get stuff off you.
Yeah, stories the
Great,
whole way
great
around.
power.
Yeah, you got to have good people around you.
Well, we
Nah,
can't.
he's just so my boy back home, he's solid. He's like, I just tell him you're not here.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know him.
it would probably work to, land the ladies. Do you know what I mean?
I want to know if you know something about this. You would probably not know. You've done so many interviews. I, the other week, thought you were left-handed because you gave me left-handed energy. Anyway, I looked at every interview and there was nothing anywhere that said what handed you were. So we had to look in photos and find you with a Sharpie signing an autograph to find out that you're right-handed. So that you've never spoken in any interview since your career about which hand you use.
It's a bit stalkerish, isn't it?
That's very stalkerish.
Well, yeah, I'm right-handed. I'm curious what gave you left-handed energy.
Yeah.
Because I'm left-handed, and sometimes I feel the left-handed vibe, and I thought you were you're one of us. You were a Flanders, but
You know what? I could like I'm not as good with my left hand, but I could like write a little bit probably.
Yeah,
Everyone
look,
practices it.
We all call, and don't be. You haven't
No, don't go against your nature.
You haven't disappointed me at all.
Well, have a great night tonight, kicking off the Australian leg.
And
Yeah,
you
you're a good guy.
hit our side of the country on next Wednesday the 20th of November, RAC Arena. Tickets through Ticketek if you want. There's a few left if you want to squeeze in and see the Kid LAROI. Thanks so much for talking to us this morning.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Have a
Bye,
good
buddy.
one.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Now, I was at the gym yesterday and I was just talking to one of the ladies there about, this time of year things starts getting busy. Everyone's calendars start filling up.
I was just looking up a
Yep.
Christmas party that we're both invited to, and I'm like, oh yeah, is it that weekend? No, it's that weekend. And I have 2 weekends in a row where I've got a Christmas party Friday and Saturday,
Yeah.
and then Friday and Saturday again. It's like, oh, I'm already tired.
You get anxiety about it. I feel that way at the moment. So I was telling her about the things that we've got coming up, we're all doing together, and she was saying, yeah, mate, I've just had such a busy time of late. I've had a few weddings on. I said, oh, yeah. And she goes, I've got one this week. It's down south. But this person is getting married for the 4th time.
Hang on. You can't have a destination wedding for your 4th time round. Are you serious?
You're going down
You
south
just
this
do
week for
that
the
in the
4th time.
backyard or at the registry office. What do you do? Go to Vegas. What are you people doing?
Well, first of all, I asked the question was, okay, was it a female? One of your
Is it the
female
guy's
friends, or was
4th
it
wedding?
the guy?
Or, yeah, okay.
She said, what do you think? So that was definitely aimed at me being a guy. 'Cause
Yes.
She said the women have, they're smarter enough to not go through it a number of times. Where this guy was of the opinion that once, he's been married 4 times. So
What does another one
half
matter?
Of 0 is 0 still. So he's got no cash. He's lost it all before.
Well, Elizabeth Taylor got married 8 times to 7 men. So once she doubled up with Richard Burton, married him twice.
How
That's
do you do
amazing,
that?
isn't it?
You were just, I think Sam was just Googling J-Lo.
Yes.
How many times, Sam?
I think she's 4, and she's just broken back up with Ben Affleck,
Yeah,
I think. So it could be on for number 5,
Yeah, that's
possibly.
right. She's available. One of my friends was married 3 times and probably, 3 times before she was 45, I reckon, if not even younger. And terrible taste in men. Terrible taste in men. So she's now said, no, that's it. Never again. I'm not going near anyone.
Do you believe her, though?
No, I think that will wear off. But we have forbidden her from, you're allowed to go out with them. You're
Yes.
allowed to move in with them even, but you are not to marry anyone ever again because you're not good at it.
I can't see. After was it once shy, twice bitten? What is it? Twice bitten, once shy? I don't know what it is. What is it? Do you know the?
Twice bitten, once shy.
I'm not even close. Rolling Stone gathers something. Anyway, why would you go again? I understand the second time because
Yes.
a lot of people get married at the first time, and it's like,
when
what are
they're
we up
quite
about
young
50%?
and they kind of drift apart or whatever, that's
Yeah.
fine. And then as they're older, with a little bit of wisdom behind them, they meet somebody and it's a more compatible match.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends have done that actually in recent times, and they work beautifully. They work perfectly. But more
I'm
than
open
that,
to anybody who is on the. They've gotten rid of their first one and they're available now.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah,
I'm happy
right,
to be
same.
somebody's second wife.
Well, why not? You know why? Because they've matured. They're not going to make the same mistakes, or do
exactly.
they? Or do they?
Wow, yeah. I mean, well, my friend did 3 times. So perhaps it's possible. Sasha is in Hammersley. Hi, Sash.
Hi, how you going?
Great, Sash. Okay, so who's been married more than twice?
Okay, so it's my mum.
Yeah.
She's on to her 4th marriage.
Oh my God.
So her first marriage didn't last very long. It was only like a few years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, so that was my real dad, you know, so
Yep.
he's a flop.
Yeah.
And then she remarried a lovely guy called Perry.
Yes.
He unfortunately passed away about probably 10 years after they were together, after
Okay.
they got married,
Oh.
from leukemia.
Yep.
Oh,
So that was pretty sad. And then she remarried again a few years after that, and she married a lovely guy called Bob. And then Bob, a few years ago, had few heart issues.
Yep.
So went into hospital and didn't come out.
oh.
So that was very, very sad.
Oh.
And
Sasha.
then the last one was this year, in February, she married a guy called Nick.
Are they? And they're still together. and
How's his health?
Is he okay?
He's actually got bad hips.
Well, at least that means he can't run away.
Mate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think every time your mum meets a new partner, she's got to declare what's happened to the
I
previous
agree.
partners.
I agree.
Because you've got to weigh that up.
We did try to warn him, you know.
I would
he
too.
could end up on the other side.
I know. Let me tell you a story about Bob and Terry. Poor Bob and Terry. That's rough, isn't it?
That's really rough.
And your poor
That's
mum,
really
she's
rough.
been through a lot, so she deserves a bit of happiness.
Yes.
Let's hope Nick hangs in there.
Oh, let's hope so, Nick.
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, Sasha. All right, well, that's 4. Beth's in Port Kennedy. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Beth.
All right, Beth. Who's been married more than twice?
My dad. He's been married. He's on his 5th wife.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, talk us
he
through
lives
them.
in the UK, and he was married twice before my mum.
Yeah.
One of them was more interested in the opposite sex, and he caught her with another lady.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So then met my mum at a divorced and separated party.
Fun. Yes.
Fun. Married my mum.
Yep.
Then split up from my mum, married a lady from the Czech Republic who was a lot younger than him.
Yes.
Had another child, and now he's married to a Chinese lady.
Oh.
He's very international, isn't he?
And is she young too? Beth?
She is a bit younger than him, yeah. Even takes his shoes off for him, looks after him, yeah. He's old now. He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
it's living the dream,
Oh,
isn't it?
that's
So
good,
do you
yeah.
think? So you think this will be his last wife?
I hope so, yes.
5th wife.
It's a lot of weddings. Did he have a big wedding every time he got married, or was it just they diminished in size as he went
Well, I
on?
never got invited to any of them.
Oh,
The last 2, no, I never got invited to.
That's because he couldn't afford it, Beth. He could only have one person
Probably.
at the wedding. He's carving up his
Probably.
property left, right and centre.
Yeah,
Wow.
lots of child support.
Yeah.
yeah, I know, right? You've got to consider these
5th
things,
marriage.
Sean.
Can I just say, I was reading an article on a guy called Bill Belichick. Do you know much about him? He's a former Patriots coach who was the coach of Tom
Okay.
Brady.
Yeah.
He's 72, and all the stories out on her at the moment is that he split up from his wife a little while ago. I think his second wife.
Yes.
Anyway, he's got a new bird that he's buying an engagement ring for. She's 24.
He's 72.
He's 72.
Come on.
Mate, surely.
No, that's not right.
She loves him, apparently.
I bet she does. I bet she does.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.